Hello people, welcome to another edition of Dose of Drew, and today we're doing a Sunday sharpenings and a speed sharpening around. And here's kind of where I'm going. The last thing I did with the Sharpal, I'm pretty sure it's Sharpal, so I'm going to start going with that. But the last video I did, I was trying to use an old technique I haven't done in a long time. Today I want to really showcase how useful these things can be at such a low price, because these things are fantastic for field sharpening and hand sharpening. They really are. And so here's the methodology. I'm going to go through the grits, 325, 600, 1200. This 1200 they advertise as I want to say it's a 15 or a 12 micron, I think. It's not the 9 micron per usual, so it's there. This is a work sharp ceramic, $19.95 to replace, I believe, the Sharpal. The Sharpal is it's like 26 or 27 bucks. It's just under 30. We'll say 30 out on Amazon. $19.95, so 20 bucks for the ceramic, 30 for those, so 50 bucks. I have a 1/4 micron strop to get any last remaining burrs and polish off just that little bit of roughness. And I'm going to do 15 strokes per side, because in my experience with diamonds and such, no steel needs more. I don't have any Maximator Rex 21. I do have a Rex 21 on order, along with, I'm sure, a whole bunch of other people. But no Maximator Rex 21 in my collection at this point. But everything else I have ever tried to sharpen can be sharpened in 15 strokes per side with diamonds. And so I want to, this is not dull. Oh, I don't want to. I hate doing this. But just so that you know, it isn't. It's got the Spyderco factory edge actually still. It's S110V. I've had this for a while and it still has a Spyderco factory edge. Spyderco factory edges tend to be a bit hollow ground. I think they do this final secondary bevel with a couple of wheels, so they tend to be a little bit hollow ground. So even if they're sharp, if you want to put a new bevel, you need to do something. But 3 strokes per side on the 1200. I say 3 strokes per side because I want both sides to wear even. So 6 strokes total. Now, it might still be sharp after that, but I have a feeling. I can get it to go through if I push really hard. So it's basically dull. It's sharp enough that you could make it cut, but it's dull for most of us knife freaks. All right, so spent 3 minutes already on this. Let's see what we can do to get this done. I'm going to talk you through a little bit, and then I'm just going to go through it. So visually inspecting and visually indexing the edge. So you see right there's a little bit, and then it comes away. A little bit, and then boom, no more black. 1. Ooh, got a little bit right here. Got to come off that weird part. What's going on here? Clean off that bevel. There we go. Oh, getting my feel for it. 3. There we go. That's weird. That secondary part right there on this Spyderco is definitely weird. That's 10. By my account, I might be off a little bit. And I have a bit of a burr. I can lighten up on my pressure and just start to even this out a little bit. And I'm keeping pressure on both sides of this to keep it flat and stable as I push against it, so I can get actually some pretty fair pressure. There's 15, and I have a burr all the way. Like, I might be able to see that. See if I can get it in the light there. No. It's definitely feelable. All right, so now I'm going, let's see if I can do this on camera. Indexing visually, little bit of black line, no more. Little bit of black line, no more. Gone, gone. Once you've got it to a point where the black line just doesn't change anymore, you're just rolling up on the same edge, you need to get to that point where it just goes away, and then, ooh, I can hear that burr grinding away right there. And the idea behind doing the same amount on both sides is to keep that bevel centered as best as Spyderco centers it. A lot of them aren't always, but some of them, for the most part, they're pretty good. Let's see if I can. This is really weird to do via the camera, I can tell you right now. Where am I at 10? Decent burr. Not quite all the way rolled up and not as even as I'd like. S110V's got some stank to it when it comes to edge retention. See if I can't smooth that out, get it on. Trying to do this and get it on camera is weird. Feel that burr. I'm going to do a couple more at the base here. Curious about that tip. A little bit of extra strokes on that side. Burr all the way up to the tip. That heel. I understand why Spyderco doesn't put a sharpening choil in there. Man, I really wish they did. I love sharpening choils, but I get that it's nice to be able to put your blade on something and not have it catch. Just put it right up against your finger and then slice it. Know that the blade's not going to catch, it's just going to start slicing. All right, so now 3 strokes per side to do any corrections and raise another minor burr. Peel the old one off and raise it. 3 is just enough if you've got a good apex. I have found. And it's really minor one. It's also enough that if you have any little bit of unevenness, you can do a little bit of corrective work on the edge here. And then I'll count down to make sure I get it. And anywhere from 1 to 3 strokes on the singles. Not going to check the edge in between. Trust my burr. One more on the 3/25. I'm going to put in a lot of extra work. It's going to be on the rough grid. It's where you get the most work done per stroke. It is a nice apex. Feels crisp. Onto the 600. Same exact thing. Is this the... I believe this is the 600. Yeah. Fine, it says. Well, fine it is then. Alright. And index, the finer the grit, the easier it is. Got to push my glasses up. The finer, the easier it is to index visually that line. Gone, gone. You will get muscle memory about where that edge bevel is after a bit of practice. That's about it. Ooh, is that 9 or 10? Let's do one more just to make sure. 10. A little bit of a burr. Not as even as I'd like. And I'm okay even on the 15th with it not being quite even on the first side. As long as it's even on the second side. Because then the second one will even that out for you. Feeling fairly even burr. First couple strokes are just going to be grinding that thing off. Indexing, see if I can get it over here, guys. It's hard to see. You guys, oh man, maybe that will be the right angle. If it's off by 1 or 2, I was probably in the zone. And I want to get just a little bit of that tip in, see how even that is. And check the, ooh. Nice. Burr mostly, even a little bit on the belly part. Can use a bit more. Try and find that angle on the camera again. Right there. Black line, gone. Black line, gone. Black line, gone. Black line, gone. And I'm doing it. It looks right to me. I hope you guys can see it on camera. I don't watch these and play back or edit or anything, so drop in the comments if I'm getting most of the angle visible on camera. It's hard with the autofocus. It's not tracking, so took tracking off because that wasn't getting it right. There we go. And doing it 3 times is a little bit over sharpening. So I'm raising a burr. By doing the diamonds 3 times again, I'm raising a micro burr sort of on each side. But it also means that I'm refining the apex just a little bit more. And I'm able to make any slight corrections to imperfections. If I don't get a even bevel, that second one, I can make those corrections on those 3 passes. And then the 2 and 1 is just to count it down and get it even. Kind of lighter pressure as you go. Not trying to peel a burr, just trying to peel a burr off. And each one gets smaller so it gets easier. Oops, I went 2. Well, we'll do 2 on this side just to help keep it even. It's gonna do 1. Couple of times. Whew. Wipe the blade so that no diamond gets reconsecrated on the next one. And not checking it with anything other than my thumb, right? I'm not doing a cut test. Pretty decent, crisp edge. And this is where having a plan for how many strokes really comes into it, because once you start getting into some really extra fine, the extra fine, that 15 to 10 micron, like, it can be really hard sometimes to, especially on high carbide steels where there's not a lot of matrix steel to form a burr, where it can break off instead of, a lot of the burr can break off instead of bend. There will still be some, there's always some matrix steel unless you're full carbide or full ceramic. Can be really hard to pull a burr. At 10, this steel's already had a burr. At 15, it had a burr on both sides. If I can't quite tell if there's a burr, I know that many strokes gets a burr from diamond. So I know I'll have it at 15 for sure. 10, 12, maybe 15 for sure. Yeah. And again, the visual, let's see if I can, oh man. Every time I think it looks good, it's hard to get it on camera. There. Man, there. Anyway, that's it. See if I can feel anything at 10. Just a minor little bit. So I'm getting a burr going, getting one up. And there's 15. How do we feel? Feel slight roughness out on the edge. It feels pretty even, close enough. That's 15 strokes. We're going for the other side. Man, see if I can't. Oh, that looks like a good angle on camera. Right? Gone. I'm not trying to get the black line to go away over the whole edge, just where I'm starting. See it. We'll check it in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Get back to the angle. There's a minor bit. I need a little bit more down here at the heel. It felt like almost nothing, so I'm going to give it a little extra grind and then finish out the last 5 strokes. The fingering. definitely makes it so that you're not in the path of the moving blade, and allows you to provide a nice stable base that for just a slight finger part and minor hand placement, because you actually use a lot of leverage. Was that 4 or 5? Well, one more ain't gonna hurt. Thank you, sir. May I have another? All right. Oliver twist. So I can actually feel that roughness as a burr. That burr has roughness fairly even all the way across. We're going down to the last countdown here. Oops. Man, getting this angle right every time is rough. Let's see if I can do it. Oops. Smash it a little bit on the surface there. All right, so that's it for the 1200. Woo. Do a quick wipe on the Flytanium bag. And now the ceramic. Same thing. 15, 15, and then down. Same pattern. So I'm going to do it on all of them, so it's the same thing so you can see how it works, right? It's not about... If I'm doing the same thing, it's not going to be about the number of strokes or anything. I'm just doing it real smooth like. See if I can get... Oh, man. It is so hard to get there. I still don't know if I'm getting the right spot to show, but... I don't feel a burr, but I know it's working, so we'll go up to 15. This, by the way, is how you had to hold. You usually have to hold the handheld ones or something like it in order to provide yourself with both stability and resistance. That finger ring on the back of the Sharpals is fantastic. A little bit on that. Ooh, smoothie. We're almost at 15. I think that was 14, if not, one more anyway. Again, just keeping it close. Not trying to be a perfectionist on the count here. trying to do approximately the same. Gotta get her in the... This might be the hardest one to do in this grip on camera right here. Ooh, I might have to still do it from the side here. Ooh, you know what? Gotta find a better way to do this. This one's a little bit long. So I'm switching midstream just because this one's just a little too hard. I'm going to the Falk Needle one. I know I can do this one on camera. The other one's just too hard to do at that angle. All right. This is about 25 bucks. So if you want to add this to your collection, it's a very nice, it is not diamond, it is the ceramic, so it's great for going after, say, a 600 diamond and then a ceramic. But back to the sharpening chore at hand. I think that's 15. Lost track count in the switch over. So we'll just have to make do. All right. And 3 on this side. Those of you watching, tell me how good I did at keeping count. Please throw in there if I got off by how many. Not always perfect. I don't really care about it always being exactly a single count. If it's within a number or two, usually okay with it. This is where most people say, oh my gosh, it's so crisp. And ceramics do have, more specifically I should say, vitrified ceramics have a way of getting just a ridiculously crisp edge. They really, really do. Doing a lot of one passes just to get both sides kind of up to the same Falk needling grind. And it does not disappoint. It is crispy, crispy. We'll go the way the paper is. Still feels like there's a little bit of a burr on there. So, straight to the 1/4 micron. I have 2 micron and 0.25 micron. J-stropping, generally speaking. Ooh, this is a new one, and so it's a little bit soft. So you can see when it was wet, it leaned up against. There's still a little bit of, has not fully driven itself into the leather yet, so this is going to be one of those things that helps it do so. Oh man, sorry about this, guys. This thing keeps hitting the camera with it dragging like this. I need to do at least a couple of strops off camera because I did not expect it to do slides to have such difficulty. In fact, because of that, we're not doing that one. Do a previously charged strop with 1/4 micron. Save us a lot of hassle. This is a Hoot Tools already. I was trying the new one, but let me make sure this one doesn't have all the same issues. No, does not seem to. Sorry about doing it off camera, you guys, but learning how to do it on camera at the right angle and all of that, wanted to make sure I get it right so I don't ruin the edge just by not having practice stropping on camera previously. There we go. And this is just a 1/4 micron. Okay. This is really little bit finer than most chromium oxide pastes. Chromium oxide is usually 0.3 to 0.6 approximately, or around 0.5. This is general size in most chromium oxide pastes. Alright, so there's stropped once again. Any greasy stuff from that freshly charged 1/4 micron, don't mind taking the old 1/4 micron and taking it came off on there. Want to get the greasy parts off. You're like, what does it do? Ooh. All right, so for those of you who are looking for something else, please allow me to be right back. So this is one that I've seen recently. I hadn't really ever tried before, but I will say I do find it to be interesting. See if I can do this on camera with my setup where you can see it. As you can see, I've done this before. Oh boy, let's see. How do I... Oh man. Just so... Oh, that looks like it. You're like, no, look man, I'm trying to do this a whole... If I stand it up here off camera and I go and do slices, you can't see it. So if I have slices like that that are clean that I just did, but I can't do it on camera, right? Or if you're like, hey, show me that it does that without, oh, there is a bit of a grind. Tell you what, I'll do it with less. Ooh, that wasn't enough. Some places it was. Trying not to put a big gouge in my desk. There we go. So yeah, I mean, it does. In just a few minutes. It does some, again, some of these are just interesting. I come out here and go, holding it way back here and go, and it cuts clean. Like, there's a lot of ways to do it. But there you go. Stropped in little over 30 minutes while talking and doing all sorts of funky stuff. I have gotten that down to 15 minutes. I'm going all the way through the grits. If you have to take off a grit, it goes through. It takes about 5 minutes per little thing to do it on camera. It takes about 5 minutes per thing. Off camera, it takes a little bit more than that on camera. But there you go. S110V taken from factory edge up to a brand new one that is pretty solid and really crisp. Will cut your paper towels and stuff nice and clean. It's a crisp cut. That's me not having a lot of tension on it that makes it chatter. But yeah, pretty crisp. So there you go. A better technique with the Sharpals. Nice ceramic. There's a battle of the ceramic duos coming up here pretty soon. So just a preview on that, as well as some others. And in the meantime, man, I meant to do it with, you can do it with this. I just couldn't do it on camera, so it ended up being the Falkneven and the Sharpals all the way through from 325 to 1200. Basically from 45 micron to 12 micron, and then a nice crisp ceramic and a 1/4 micron strop, all in less than 30 minutes on S110V. And even though it's a pretty fine edge, that S110V will hold it for a good long time. So there you go, quick on the Sharpal. So these are really nice. This fingering on them is one of the best features I've seen in a long time. Being able to grab it and literally just and place a solid platform underneath that you can maneuver and work. And yeah, for pocket sharpening, these things are absolutely fantastic. And if you have anything like, if you have these and something like a ceramic, the Falkneven has this awesome little slip that comes in that can purposely has this suede thing so you can put compound on there. So you put you have this in the Sharpals in this particular case, and you have this one's like $25. These are like 20, 30, 50 to 55 bucks. You have, quite honestly, all the sharpening you may ever need. Built-in strop on the ceramic. And you can even do a quick touch-up with just the Falkneven in that case. There you go. Quick sharpening here on Sunday Sharpening. Just ripping through with the standard technique that's been so big time now. And there you go, 3 Sharpals. In the meantime, go ahead, take this video, watch it twice, comment as much as you like, be mindful of side effects. Remember to like and subscribe. This has been your Dose of Drew. I am said Drew, and you guys have a great rest of your night.